So this video might come across as somewhat elitist. I guess. I'm not really sure. I've been collecting movies since I was about 15, so that's near enough 30 years. So I started collecting VHS when I was about 15, and then I got rid of VHS, started collecting DVD, then went on to Blu-ray, and now I collect both Blu-ray and 4K. But I've always bought movies that I wanted to watch, or films that I knew about. I've never gone into something not knowing a single thing about a movie and going, oh, I'll buy that. I always do my research beforehand. So if I'm shopping online and I'll see a film, I'll IMDb it, or I'll Google it. I'll check out reviews. I'll watch the trailer. I'll research the actual movie before I spend the money on it. And I see a lot of YouTubers, especially in the community that we are members of, spending inordinate amounts of money on films they have no idea about, and then making videos about how they have regrets in their collections for films that they've spent money on and didn't enjoy. So, because they didn't know anything about the film. I watched a video the other day from the original Fuzz. I really like the dude's channel. He's a good YouTuber, but he bought a very, very expensive looking copy of Daryl. I think it's a Vinegar Syndrome release of Daryl. D.A.R.Y.L, starring Barrett Oliver from 1985, about a robot kid. He'd never seen the film before. It was one of the films that he never saw when he was when he was growing up in the 80s. Didn't know really anything about the movie, but decided to spend a shit ton of money on a very expensive looking 4K release from Vinegar Syndrome. He watched it, he didn't like it, and now he has regrets of having that in his collection. And we've all got regrets in our collections. We've all got stuff that we've bought that we've not really enjoyed. But spending huge amounts of money on physical media that you have no idea about is ridiculous. It's insane. Like, I've got every single movie that I have on Blu-ray is a movie that I know something about, or I've researched that movie to actually spend the money on. So, I mean, yeah, pretty much. There's maybe one or two films that I did blind buy, like straight up, just blind buy. And this is going back years. This is when Arrow first started. So when they started doing the Giallo collection, the white box stuff, there was stuff that I picked up that I had no idea about. So, like, for instance, Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Dario Argento's first feature-length movie. Never seen it, didn't really know anything about it, went off recommendations. Luckily, I quite enjoyed Bird with the Crystal Plumage. But again, that was a blind buy. Another blind buy from Arrow was... Where is it? I think I may have sold it, but I'm not 100% sure. Another blind... Which one was it? Was it that one? Another one which was a success, I might add, was Brian De Palma's Phantom of the Paradise, which is a rock and roll fantasy sort of retelling of the Faust poem. The poem, is it Faust? Yeah, I think it is. Which I think is a better film than the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And this was a blind buy. I'd never seen it before, and I ordered it when it first came out. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and then me and my friend, we screened it for a bunch of people, and they also enjoyed it. But that was a complete blind buy. But there was one movie that I did buy that was a complete blind buy that I absolutely despised. I hated it, and I think it was... Oh, that's right. It was another Dario Argento film. It was Inferno by Dario Argento. I hated it. I watched it, absolutely just despised that movie. Didn't know anything about it when I picked it up. Just spent the money and thought, yeah, I'll probably enjoy it. Did not like it at all. So because of that, I became more wary of just splashing out cash on stuff that I'd never seen before. Or I made sure that I would I'd do a bit of research beforehand, watch trailers, watch documentaries, or watch like retrospectives or stuff on YouTube, and read old reviews from when they came out, and read reviews from now, go through blog posts that people have written blog posts about. I did my research on movies to make sure that I knew something about the film going in, not being completely blind to it, and it's greatly improved my film enjoyment. And that is one of the reasons why I don't buy as much as now as I used to. Back in the day, I used to spend ridiculous amounts of money. I know my most popular video on here is my advice to people wanting to buy movies. And I did say that essentially just buy what you want. Buy what you want. Don't listen to what others say. And that is still advice that I sort of stick by. But I would say do your research beforehand. I wouldn't go in buying bulk sales, like job lots of DVDs, because 9 times out of 10, those job lots of DVDs are going to have a lot of shit in them. And you'll find that you end up with hundreds of DVDs that aren't worth the disc that they're printed on. There's a lot of really crap British gangster movies that you tend to find lumped in with these big, huge like job lots that you find on eBay or Amazon Marketplace or Vinted or something like that. Like, I always check Vinted to see if there's anything good on there. I've picked up a couple of like great editions on Vinted. Like, I was looking for some of the premium collection. Where is it? And I managed to find The Haunting from Robert Wise. Great movie, one of the scariest films I've ever seen. The Haunting, and if I can find it, there it is. And Stephen King's Pet Sematary, both on Vintage, still with the slip, because it's very difficult to track down second-hand copies of the premium collection with the slips. I found them on Vinted for £6 each. So, like, I knew about the films beforehand. So Vinted was always is always a good place to check. But a lot of the sellers on Vinted now have gotten wise to pricing. So you'll see that maybe about a year or so ago, if you were buying Blu-rays off Vinted, you would see that people were underpricing certain items because they just wanted to get shot of physical media. So you were able to pick up some really good bargains. And then resellers started using Vinted as a place for reselling limited editions and collector's editions, but hiking the price up. So when you go on there now, you'll see steelbooks for like £45. You'll see collector's editions and stuff for upwards of 60 quid, because people have now used Vinted as a alternative to eBay, where like you'll still find some good deals, but you've got to look really, really hard. It's the same with eBay. You've got to look really, really hard to find the decent deals. And I kind of miss the days of that. I miss the days of like doing a cheap shop. Like when I was ordering DVDs, when I used to buy DVDs, I used to buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. I still buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, but I used to buy a lot of Region 1 DVDs through Amazon, through international sellers. And you could usually pick up a lot of DVDs for 1 pence, and then you end up just paying, I think it was like £1.26. It was back then, £1.26 postage and packaging from the States, because it was shipping from Amazon. It was shipping through Amazon to Amazon and then to you, that you didn't have to pay any import tax or anything like that. So I used to just spend a fortune on Amazon importing Region 1 DVDs. So I had like the entire Rocky collection, the entire Rambo trilogy. What else is there? A lot of horror films, a lot of horror movies. I managed to get import from Amazon UK through international sellers, and you can't find that anymore. And I think that's because of Blu-ray. Blu-ray is a lot harder to find multi-region than it is to find like the region that you're in. So I ended up buying a Region A player. It was a Pioneer player that was, I think it was one of the hacked ones you buy on eBay. I think it was like 200 quid. And it was shit. It didn't work. They basically ruined the Blu-ray player by soldering a chip inside it to make it multi-region. And it annoyed the crap out of me that I spent so much money on something that just... It was useless after about 3 months because it just stopped working. And then there was firmware updates. I tried all that. Could not get that to work. So I ended up just binning the player and sticking with Region B releases. Because if there's something in America that you want that you can't get because you can't play Region A, I guarantee you it's released in Germany at a fraction of the price, which is even better. It's just, I miss the days of that era of collecting. But nowadays, I think with the rise in bootleg labels, something like Arrow and Eureka and Shout Factory and Kino Lorber and like labels like that, that collecting has now gone from the search to it's there for you now. Here's what you can buy. Here's what you can have. Like I think the search has gone, and I understand people doing Blu-ray hunt videos. I personally wouldn't do a Blu-ray hunt video because, for me, Blu-ray shopping is something really, really, like movie shopping especially, is something really, really personal because it's catered to my tastes. Like I watch Kermit's Ghosts movies videos every Monday because I want to know what's new, and that is an invaluable resource that Alan does for the Blu-ray collecting community or the movie collecting community. Is he shows us what's new on day of release, which is a fantastic thing for the community. But personally, when I'm shopping for movies, I like to shop for movies by myself. It's a very personal thing for me is to do a movie shop. Like I like to spend time going through the shelves in HMV and weighing up the differences between, I don't know, maybe a standard release of King Kong or the premium collection of version of King Kong. It's exactly the same disc, but like it was 2 for 15 quid or it was $9.99 on its own. So I was just like, well, I want to add it to the collection of the premium collection. So why not get that and pick up another one alongside it? Like one film that I really lost out on when it came to the premium collection was Little Shop of Horrors, which had the original artwork, like poster artwork on it, which I really, really wanted. Same with, I think it was Gremlins and Gremlins 2 that I really wanted. I've got Gremlins already. I haven't got Gremlins 2 because it just went straight out of print and I don't think it's been released since. But yeah, Little Shop of Horrors was one that I really wanted to get because I love Little Shop of Horrors. I've got the DVD somewhere. And I found it in HMV, but it was the standard release. It was like the later version release, which was released on a slim case. I've got it here, but it's somewhere on the shelf. But I can't be bothered bending down to try and find it. So like I ended up buying that one, even though I wanted to get the premium edition. So I like to do. That's what I like to do when I'm out and about doing a movie shop. Like that's my time. That's my time for me. When I go movie shopping, I like to go to Wetherspoons. I like to have lunch in Wetherspoons. Then I like to like go to HMV. I like to browse and like weigh up the different offers that they've got. Like I look at a lot of the 4Ks. I look at a lot of the boutique labels. Then I go over to the other side where they've got the standard releases. I see what they've got standard release wise. And I could spend like 4 hours just going through the movies, just selecting what I want and seeing if there was like different offers and different versions that are available. Like, do I pick up a standard release of The Breakfast Club, or do I get the Criterion release of The Breakfast Club? That's my idea of shopping. So I can understand why people want to do Blu-ray hunt videos. Personally, for me, that's not what I do YouTube for. I like to showcase the movies that I bought. I like to talk about the movies. And I think for me, the focus is more on films than it is on the actual physical side of it. I've got a big collection. Like I've said in the other video, this is a very, very small portion of my collection. I've got 8 bags under my bed, which have 200 plus movies per bag that are in sleeves. I've still got multiple boxes full of DVDs. These are the stuff that I've got out specifically, and I've got my limited editions, and I've got stuff here that is recent purchases or stuff that just won't fit on the shelf because I've added in the new stuff. Like, it's curation. Like, I was going to watch this yesterday. I was going to watch Mysterious Island. This is a film that I bought on a 3 for 20 through Indicator. I didn't end up watching this in the end. I ended up watching Ghostbusters Frozen Empire on Now TV, which, yes, I know, it's like streaming, fuck streaming, but I wanted something to watch that I hadn't seen, and I like Ghostbusters, so I thought I'll give it a try. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't the best in the world. It did prove that we need more Dan Aykroyd in movies, but then I thought, oh, what else can I watch? I'm sat on a sofa now. I can't be asked faffing about going into my room to get Mysterious Island. So I thought, oh, I'll just have a look, see what's on Now TV. What else is on Now TV? I found Back to the Future. So I was just like, oh, I'll watch Back to the Future. And being the fucking idiot that I am, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to watch Back to the Future on Now TV because I got perfectly good 4K collection. I got the 4K trilogy. I'll go and get the 4K trilogy. So instead of getting off my arse and coming in here to get Mysterious Island, I still got off my arse, came in here and got fucking Back to the Future and watched that as well. Which, by the way, is a perfect movie. Back to the Future. There is a reason why it's my top film of all time. It is an absolute perfect movie. Just everything comes together. I don't know what this video is, to be honest with you. It's just me ranting, I guess. I was watching a few videos earlier. I think the idea for this really came from Bumper, who I watched one of his videos from 2 months ago where he was talking about the drama between Last Movie Standing and like the bigger channels like CCH or CHH or whatever it is, and Mid-Level Media, about how they get free stuff. And it's like, well, I used to review movies for 101 Films, for Cine Asia, for who else was there? Like Arrow Video I've done reviews for, and like I used to get free movies. But being in the UK, they don't send you sell-throughs. So in the States, they will send you a retail copy. So they'll send you a retail copy of the products for you to review. In the UK, they will send you what's known as a check disc, which is just a blank disc with the name of the film printed on it, and then you're supposed to review that. So you're reviewing the film, you're not reviewing the package, which I think they need to kind of change, because considering nowadays, like back in the day when I was reviewing movies, I was reviewing just like kung fu movies and stuff like that. So I reviewed things like Young Bruce Lee and what was it, The Myth, Shaolin with Jackie Chan. I reviewed this, which is still sealed. I reviewed this, which is Toy Soldiers. I really like this movie. The reason this is still sealed is because I haven't watched it since 101 actually gave me this. They sent me this after I did the review for the Czech disc. They sent this to me through the post for free. I was absolutely elated because I really enjoyed that movie. But like, Bumper had a really good point as well, saying about how these bigger channels, they get more views. So why would someone who gets maybe 500 views per video get, as in like referring to myself, why would I get a $30, $40, $50 package sent to me, or $49.99, £45 package sent to me from like Arrow or Second Sight or something, when I don't get the views, but someone like maybe mid-level media who gets 40,000 views per video will actually get sent that stuff. I mean, it makes sense to send it to the bigger guys. I think the problem that he had, that Brian had on last movie Standing, was more a case of, are they shilling these companies? Are they just saying that the product is good so they can get more products from them? I don't know. I don't know. I personally don't watch mid-level media because I'm not a fan of his channel. It's nothing against him. I just don't like his stuff. I don't really watch much in the way of American physical media channels. I'm more into the British stuff because it's more relatable to me. There are some channels from the States that I do watch, that I used to watch a lot of, actually. I used to watch a lot of Cinema Sickness until he changed his channel to some sort of thrifting thing where it was much more interesting when he was doing his physical media. And the only other one I really watch is Serial at Midnight, because that's more information-based, I guess. And Heath knows more about the films, which makes the videos far more interesting, I find. And I watch a lot of Brian stuff as well. I was watching his video earlier about his recent pickups, and I really enjoy that stuff. I liked watching videos where collectors talk about the movies. They don't just talk about the product itself. And I think there should be more discussion of the film than the actual product. And it does kind of grind my gears when you see a lot of videos where people are showing off their recent pickups and basically have no idea about the films that they've picked up. I just think people are buying stuff for the sake of buying it. And I think because of that, and because people are spending inordinate amounts of cash on these products, companies like Second Sight, like Arrow, like Treasured Films, are pricing themselves so high that they're going to, at some point, price themselves out of a market. If you look at the prices of 88 films and stuff, when they release a new film, maybe not necessarily on 4K, but when they release a new film on Blu-ray, it's usually about $14.99, which is a good price. 15 quid for a new release Blu-ray is fantastic. $19.99 for a brand new release 4K is fantastic. But when you look at something like Arrow, who are charging £30 per film for the Dollars trilogy, because they're not releasing them as a box set, they're releasing them as single releases that are only 2 discs, so it's only got the 4K and the Blu-ray, and they're charging $29.99 per movie. You're spending 90 quid on 3 films, which is ridiculously high. And the most egregious and shocking price point that I have seen for a recent coming up film, which I talked about in the last video, which was my most anticipated releases, was Nomads, released by Treasured Films, who are releasing a single disc Blu-ray, not 4K, a Blu-ray, a single disc Blu-ray release for $26.99, which is an astronomical price to expect people to pay for a single disc Blu-ray, not 4K, Blu-ray release of a film that is, it's not even a cult classic. It's a film that has kind of been forgotten, I guess, because it is the first film from the director of Predator and Die Hard. But I mean, people are saying, oh, physical media is not dying. I mean, it's not dying because we're getting more and more releases. But it's going to get to a point where people can't afford to buy these releases because they are far too expensive. Like, when I was looking the other day, I was looking at the pricing of certain movies compared to what they used to be when I was working in Blockbuster. And I know this is like going 15 years now. Well, not 15. It was 12 years ago was when I was made redundant, or when the company went bust. But the average price of a Blu-ray brand new was about $13.99, and that was for just standard release. It was Blockbuster, so you wouldn't have things like Arrow. In fact, boutique Blu-rays boutique companies didn't actually exist in the capacity that they exist now. So Arrow had just started. Arrow was a label that used to release shoddy DVDs. It was Arrow Films, not Arrow Video. So they used to release stuff on DVD. Like Penitentiary, they did a release of Day of the Dead. They did releases of Dawn of the Dead. But they were low quality releases. And it was only when they started doing Arrow Video with the early releases on DVD with things like like the Dario Argento stuff and some random stuff like Jaguar something, and there was a film, I can't remember what it's called now. It was a film with Linda Blair, Savage Streets, there we go. Something like Savage Streets, which were these proper cult classics. And they were doing restorations on them, but they were only releasing them on DVD. And I think like the first Blu-rays that released back in the day were things like Maniac Cop, which I still have, and like Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and Vamp, Who Dares Wins, The Wild Geese, Zombie Flesh Eaters, Foxy Brown. Yeah, so they had like a lot of really good stuff back in the day. But as they got bigger and bigger and bigger, obviously they were making more money, so they were able to license more films. And then you get to the point where they've licensed, they've made a deal with Warner Brothers for maybe certain titles, but because the only way to get those certain titles is to get a package of other titles, they have to release them as well. So that's why you get shit like the Clash of the Titans movies in a box set, which, like, I suppose it's contractual, but nobody wants that. Like, they're shit films. They were shit when they came out. They're not cult classics. They're not revered movies. They're fucking awful films. They were box office bombs, and nobody liked them when they came out. So why would they expect somebody to go and spend 35 quid on two shit fucking remake movies of a classic like The Clash of the Titans? It's the same with Deep Blue Sea. Deep Blue Sea is a terrible movie. I talked about how much I hated Deep Blue Sea. And I think I was a little bit too harsh, because I don't hate it as much as I made out I hated it. I just think that they need to get back to what their roots were. And like I said, I can understand that they're making more money now, so they can release more stuff, but release more stuff that is wanted, not more stuff that people don't give a shit about. Like, I know I said this about Deep Blue Sea, and I saw a lot of people online on the the day where, like, usually Arrow release the upcoming announcements on a Friday. When they announced Deep Blue Sea, the comments were like, "Oh my god, Deep Blue Sea, oh yeah!" It's like, why the fuck? It's Deep Blue Sea. It's crap. It's crap. You might as well just watch fucking Sharknado. So, like, it boggles my mind that, like, people are buying, like, spending 30 quid for Deep Blue Sea. What the fuck is that? That's just ridiculous. So, like, I'll spend money on films that I want, that I enjoy, that I like, that I know. That's why I don't blind buy anymore. I will, specifically when it comes to something like the Indicator movies, there are a lot of classic movies there that I know about that I haven't seen, so I will spend the money and I will buy those. But the other stuff, like, there's a lot of shit out there that people are spending money on that they don't really want, but they are doing it essentially just so they can show it off on camera. And I think that is one of the big problems that I've got with this so-called this community. Not necessarily the UK. The UK community seems to be pretty laxed, and a lot of people tend to know what they're talking about. And they have specific things, like I said, I was watching Bumper's videos earlier. He's a horror fan. Same with Marcus from X-File 2708. He's a horror fan, so they buy a lot of horror movies. I am a fan of cinema, so I buy a lot of stuff from multiple different genres. So I've got everything from science fiction to classic film noir to musicals. So, like, I'll watch pretty much anything. And this UK community kind of, it makes me glad to be sort of part of it, even though I don't feel like I'm actually part of it, because I don't really take much part. I don't really participate in a lot of stuff to do with the community. Maybe it's because of where I am. I'm stuck in Cardiff, in Wales. I know that from my perspective, there are no other Cardiff-based physical media YouTubers. Bumper's from Newport, which is a 15-minute train ride from where I am. But other than that, I feel like I'm kind of left out, and yeah, it's quite sad, but also, like, I'm very solitary. I'm a very solitary person. So while I do enjoy doing podcasts with other people, I tend to just sit here and talk to myself. Like, I've been stood here talking to my phone for 32 minutes. And I don't know, I'm ranting. Anyway, that's just really what I wanted to talk about, which wasn't really much. It was just a bit of a rant, to be honest with you. Just physical media. Anyway, I'm Pedro, the usual. Peace. I'm out. Have a good one.